Missing in Missouri is an investigative podcast dedicated to finding as much information as we can in missing person cases and ultimately find the truth.
Okay, so we're back after the break.
Yep.
It was a much needed break. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and a good New Year's.
Definitely much needed. I think for everybody, not just ourselves, but also for the listeners and people that we talk to.
And we've got a lot more people coming to the Facebook page too now.
Definitely.
I couldn't believe how many people still was commenting on it and contacting us through the break. But so we did. I think we got a lot of work done.
I think so. And we just want to thank those who followed during the break and for all of you who have been patient and supportive through all of this. It really, really means a lot to us.
Yes, it does. And the reason why we pushed back this episode was because we were waiting for a few interviews and we were waiting to get some more information. Unfortunately, we thought we were going to have them by this episode. We don't. So that's why this episode, it's going to be shorter. It's not going to be,
as long as
all the other ones. But we just want to give you guys, an update and touch base with you and let everybody know that we're still working on it. We haven't forgotten anything. It's just, this is the time of year people are a little more difficult to get a hold of.
Definitely.
And
I know we can be.
Yeah. But we're back on it. We're going to actually be working, I think, more on it now because we got a lot more stuff.
Yeah, we definitely do. We did have one interview during the break, and we're kind of processing and going through that and discussing amongst ourselves what we're comfortable putting up, because we always tell everyone who is willing to be interviewed and recorded, we always tell you that we want you to feel safe, we want you to be safe, we want to feel safe, and sometimes there are things that we're just not comfortable putting up.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean that we won't talk about it.
No, oh yeah, oh no, yeah, but we let everybody know that though too.
Definitely.
Before we do the interview, we ask their permission.
Yeah.
But then we also tell them, hey, can we use this? And if you don't want it to be used, is it okay if we read it? Like back and forth.
Yeah.
So, but we have that, and we have some more information that we're not yet willing to tell because it goes along with the interview.
Yeah.
But we are following up on several things. We're getting emails and a lot of interest.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm glad because it seems like it's starting to really get out there now.
And that's a good thing, because that was the whole point, is to get her story out there.
Absolutely. I mean, that was the whole point of this podcast.
Yeah.
Was to do this. And not just for Dana, but for other missing people as well. That was the whole thing with starting this podcast.
It definitely was. I personally don't think that we expected to do a full season worth of one person.
We did not. No.
I think that we dreamed about it, but we weren't sure there for a while if we were going to do that, because sometimes it's just difficult to get this information.
Well, and it's been, it's been a long time, and
yeah,
people move away, people, forget things, and, sometimes it's just hard for people to talk about.
Yeah.
But we are going to start looking in and doing stories on other missing people here pretty soon. That's not to say that that we're putting
Dana to the side, because we're not.
No.
We're still going to be working behind the scenes on this case.
Yeah.
Because it's important for us to be able to get as much as we can and to be able to help as much as we can. That being said, in between episodes that we discuss other missing person cases, if we have updates, big updates, we're going to do an episode for that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, and, like we said, we do have still a few interviews
Yeah.
And, a few more things about Dana's case. So while we're waiting to get those interviews, and while we're waiting to get that information, we thought that we'd give you guys this update and let you guys also know about, the cases in between Dana's.
Yeah, the kind of the direction that we're going with it right now. So I think that we had discussed that it would be every other week.
Every other week.
That we will upload an episode, and it will be at least one new case. There are a lot of missing people in Missouri. So
staggering number.
We're going to do that, and if there is an update with Dana's case or any other case that we have covered, we will make an episode or dedicate part of an episode to an update.
Yes. Now, I think with all that being said, we have gotten a lot of information. We have talked to a lot of people, and I just want to thank those people that have talked to us, because I know for a lot of them it wasn't easy, and it was difficult, and sometimes scary for them, and still is.
Yeah.
But without those people talking with us, none of that would have been possible. None of this.
Yeah.
It would have been a one episode, one and done thing. And because of all these people talking with us, they have gotten this case back in the light too. And I just have to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because without you guys, none of this would have been possible.
Seriously. I know that people say that all the time, but you guys are the ones that help to put Dana back out there, help people remember, and maybe jog some memories. And it really means a lot to us.
And a lot to the families.
Yeah.
I think things are finally starting to come together.
Yeah.
With all of them, and we're not going to get too deep into it, but it's I think everybody's heading in the right direction now, and that's the good thing. That's the main point.
Yeah.
So, but we're not yet done with it, so don't think that.
But we just wanted to update you guys as to where we are, to what our plans are going forward, because we didn't just want to start the next episode after this with something completely different, and you guys are like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. We like to keep you guys in the loop and let you guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate everything that everybody's done, and I think going forward, it's going to be really good.
Definitely.
Especially when we get these interviews completed.
I agree.
And to let you guys know, if this podcast sounds different, it's because we're not in our normal recording area that we're normally at.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to sound a little different.
Like a little bit of a hiccup, so.
But by the next episode, we should be back in there, and everything will be okie dokie.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm just really excited to be able to still work on Dana, but also bring to light these other cases. There are so many people, not just adults, children too, missing in Missouri.
I know. We've gotten how many emails?
Yeah.
From people telling us, hey, have you looked into this one? Can you look into this one? Can you look into this one? And, we have to tell them, well, yeah, we can do that, but, we're working on this one.
I'm just really excited because those people's stories need to be out there too. Even if we don't necessarily speak directly to somebody who knew them or think, we're going to do as much as we can. And if there's a case that you guys hear us talk about and you're like, hey, I want to know more about that, email us, call us. I know that our phone was down for a little bit. To be honest, it just broke. It was an older phone, and it sounded a little funky anyway, like it was going out. But it's back. And so, call us, let us know. Or if you guys know cases, that we don't, or that we haven't seen, or that, just call us. Facebook
us. Let us know, yeah.
Email us.
I think we're pretty easy to get a hold of, especially now that we're back and we're doing this. And I hope you guys all had a good Christmas. I know I did.
Me too.
We had a really good break. It was nice having the break because, we have full-time jobs and we do this full-time.
Yeah.
And it is exhausting.
Yes, it is.
It's very rewarding, but it is very exhausting too.
Yeah.
Having said all that,
I'm Morgan.
And I'm Zach.
And this is Missing in Missouri.